Hi, my name is David Barta, and I played college baseball.
My name is Heather, and I am addicted to Coca-Cola.
Hey everybody, my name is Kendall Long, and this is Down to Date, the podcast where we bring two complete strangers in the podcast studio to see if they are a match made in podcast heaven. With me in the studio, I have Heather and David, and we're going to see if they are down to date. You guys ready?
Awesome.
Ready.
Let's do it.
So in the beginning, I like to get rid of all the surface level questions, so I'm going to have you guys tell your entire life story in 1 minute.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And as much detail as possible. So
Okay.
usually it's stuff like hobbies, family, where you grew up, stuff like that. You're like, we're down. You guys seem very confident about this.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Yeah.
I think I know myself
Yeah.
quite well.
1 minute.
All right. Well, David, there's a minute on the clock. Are you ready?
We're not going ladies first, or
Are you scared to go first?
I'm not scared. I'm just trying to be polite, as anyone on the first date.
I appreciate that. All right,
Sure.
Heather, you can go
Okay,
first.
I'll go first.
All right. So there's a minute on the clock. Your entire life story in as much detail as possible.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes,
Set.
I'm ready.
Go.
Alrighty. So I was born and raised in San Diego, North County, Carlsbad. Lived there my whole life. Still live there right now. Super close to my family. I have two amazing parents and then two sisters. So I'm the middle of two sisters. So one's 26. I think 26, yeah. And one is, she's actually here. She is 22. So we're really close. Yeah, I grew up playing like all different kinds of sports. Never was like super good at sports, but just did like everything.
Awesome.
Obsessed with the beach, like super beach girl. All the beach activities, like paddleboarding and all that stuff. Like spent all my summers on the beach. Went to school at Biola University, which is a private Christian
really?
school. Mm-hmm.
My dad went there, actually.
Oh, no way.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
Just keep
no.
going.
12 seconds on the
clock. And then graduated, and I got a job as a project manager for an engineering company, and then did the show, and now I'm figuring stuff out. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Perfect.
Very cool.
Wow. Perfect timing. 1 minute.
There you go.
All right, David.
Well done.
You have to top that.
That was pretty good. I
Are
don't know
you
if I'll be
ready?
able to. But
One
I'll do
whole
my
minute.
best. All right.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Set. Go.
All right. Well, I grew up in Burbank, California, so pretty close to here.
Close,
I've
yeah.
always lived in Southern California. My dad's a Baptist minister. Actually, like I
Oh,
said, he
funny.
went to Biola University. So I grew up very, very conservative, as my family still is. I played baseball my whole life. I played at Loyola Marymount University, and then I got hurt my sophomore year, it was. And then, yeah. So then I started getting into more personal training, and I'm signed with a couple of different modeling agencies. So I primarily do like commercial modeling and then
Cool.
personal training.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's kind of where I've been now. And I actually just graduated college last month.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
Is that a little
20
short?
seconds left. Hey, but
Oh, man. What else is there? What else is interesting about me? I covered the baseball thing. I talked to Biola for baseball in high school.
That's so funny.
That's about it.
So
I
right.
got my degree in psychology, so
Cool.
I know how to pick out a crazy one.
There you go.
Which is
That's
actually
important.
what I prefer.
There
I
you
mean,
go,
I hope you
right?
check that box.
like crazy. All right. Your minute is done.
All right.
All right. So we got all that out of the way. Now we're going to get to the scary questions.
Oh, gosh.
This is the
Oh,
jar
boy.
of questions you never want to bring up on a first date.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
All
man.
right.
Oh, yeah.
It's scary.
So-
It's scary.
David, you're going to go first.
All right. So am I answering or
Yes,
Heather
you
answer?
answer.
Oh, great. Are relationships really over, or can your ex be your friend? Honestly, with my exes, like the first girl I ever dated is married now, and she's my age. She's 22. Honestly, all my other exes like moved away.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you have
So you
nothing to worry
can't be
about.
friends.
Exactly. So exactly. I mean, we can be long distance kind
But
of friends,
do you
but
think if you had a girlfriend, would you have a problem with them contacting their ex? That's where it gets real.
honestly, depending on what reason it was for,
Yeah,
like
that's
I
true.
can understand. Like, I mean, every relationship should have the basis of a friendship, and if y'all are still friends, and if you tell me that, or if someone tells me that there's no romantic feelings towards them, then I honestly would have no problem with it.
Okay. All right. How about you, Heather?
I think for the most part, like, you can be friends. I think it depends on, like, I don't think, like, you should be hanging out, like, one-on-one with a
Right,
person or,
right.
like, you know, that's just, like, unnecessary. If you broke up for a reason. I think it's, like, just not respectful to your significant other to be, like, best friends with your exes. But I think you can be friendly. I think you
Yeah.
can hang out in groups and
Sure. Yeah,
can be
absolutely.
casual.
Sometimes it's
Absolutely.
unavoidable if you're like in the same friend group.
yeah,
So.
you don't make it
That's always
awesome.
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Heather, your turn.
Alrighty. When would you be ready to get married?
Oh.
Me personally, or just
Yeah, you personally.
I think it really. I mean, right now I feel like I'm in a phase in my life where I think I would be ready to get married when I just met the person I think I would be wanting to get married to. You know, I don't think I'm in a rush, and I don't think I'm ready to get married. Like I need to get married right now.
Right.
But I think, you know, I'm out of college and I've done enough with my life where I think, okay, if I met the right person, I'd be ready to get married.
Why not?
Yeah.
Come
exactly.
Vegas. How
There
about
you
you?
go.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, like I said, I grew up very conservative Baptist, and I mean, the institution of marriage was always preached to me by my family, and I always knew that no matter what I do, whether it was baseball, now it's kind of more entertainment, or in the fitness industry, like no matter what I do, that's for me to help my future family be financially stable, really. Because I mean, ultimately, I want to be the best father and the best husband I can be someday.
So you're preparing for the family.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, once baseball was done for me, I actually had to start paying bills for my parents because my dad was kind of transitioning in his career to pursuing different things, just kind of based on church.
So you had to grow up pretty
politics.
quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah, so that was honestly, I was still in my sling out of my second surgery, the end of my baseball career. So I mean, family is very important to me. My family's had definitely ups and downs, and
Yeah.
it's difficult now being in entertainment, and my
Totally,
family
that's
being
really
so
hard,
conservative. But I mean, honestly, when I meet the right person, and when the time's right, when we're like spiritually, emotionally, and financially ready to be together, then I mean that could be any time now.
Such a
For sure.
responsible, like such a well-rounded answer.
I really wasn't trying to give that like that cookie cutter answer, but
it was
that's
not
the
cookie
honest
cutter by
that's-
any means. Not cookie cutter.
That's the honest truth. I mean,
Yeah.
Beautiful answer
Yeah.
though. You handled that very well. All right,
you.
one more scary question.
Oh boy, I'm gonna dig deep in here.
Oh, there you go.
I get a blue one in here. Oh gosh. I feel like I know how we're gonna answer both of this. What are your thoughts on an open relationship? I mean, I wouldn't consider an open relationship something that I would ever pursue, to be honest. Because I mean, I don't really get jealous too much, but I do. Like if someone is friends with their ex, that's cool. But like, dang, like if my girl's looking like too hot, I'm like back home, like damn. Yeah, but I mean, I don't feel like I'd want to share anyone, and it wouldn't be fair of me to like be like that, be how I am, but also try to pursue or talk to or see other people on the side of who I'm gonna be with. Yeah. So
How about you? What are your thoughts, Heather?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like, no judgment to people who are interested in that, but that's just not something I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just, yeah.
All right, after that hot and heavy last question, we are actually going to be getting some questions from fans that submitted them. So I'm really
Boy.
excited about these.
All right.
Should be good.
I'm going to select a good one. Let's see. I have a few here. This is from Amreganj, Amreganj. I can't pronounce that, but I think it's Amreganj.
Sure.
On what terms do your former relationships end? Friendly, bitter, etc. It reveals quite a bit. How about you? Heather, you can go first.
So I've only, like, dated one person for a significant period of time, and we're still friends. So we were like friends to start. We were in the same friend group, and then didn't start dating till like a few months after that, and then we dated for a little bit. And it was just like, we're just friends. So like we ended, and we're still in the same friend group, and it's like not strange at all. Like
you
it's
decided
so
maybe
normal.
you're just not right for each
Yeah,
other.
we're just like, okay, yeah, maybe not, and we're still friends. So
Interesting. Fair enough. So it was, how do they usually end, or what was the last one?
The last relationship you had, how did it end?
Oh man. Honestly, the last girl that I, who was my girlfriend, was about 2.5, almost 3 years ago. And it's just, we just were at really different times. I was right after I had my first baseball injury, and actually my first baseball surgery, where I was out for a significant period of time. And I was having to, for the first time, cope with the idea that I might not play professional baseball in my life, and that I might have to, like, start taking classes more seriously
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I was going through that. She was going through some family problems. And, we just kind of decided that, like, I mean, we went to church and everything together. We're both believers, and thank God we still are. But I mean, we just decided that we were at different points in our lives. we talk every once in a while. She didn't know that I was going on a dating show this past summer. She was sitting in class. She goes to University of Oregon. And a girl sitting next to her like takes out her phone and goes, "Isn't that your ex-boyfriend?"
That's the worst way to find out.
I was like,
not ideal.
I was like, I swore I told you. She goes, "No, everyone's talking about it."
did.
All the
Oh my
exes.
gosh.
I will say that after going on like a dating show specifically, all the exes always the comments
come
on it. And they're
back.
like, "Did you talk about me?" It's like, of course I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. All right, here's another
Oh, man.
question. Oh, actually, wait. Yes. Here's another question from Katawada. What's your favorite and
names.
least favorite memory of your childhood?
Ooh,
Wow.
such a hard question.
Wow, we're going to dark places now.
Oh, yeah.
Me first?
Yes.
Oh man, least favorite.
Ladies
I know.
first.
I'm trying to think. I'm so bad at favorites. Like, I'm like, oh, there's so many. I don't know if I have like one specific favorite memory, but one thing that I did love is every summer, me and my family, my mom's whole side of the family lives in Iowa, and they have.
That's where my dad's family's from.
Oh, funny.
We have a farm out there actually.
Yes, that's so funny. So yeah, they have a farm out in Iowa that she grew up on, and so we go there every summer and like ride the horses and have the pigs and chickens and
I've
all
always
that
wanted to
stuff.
own
The
a
whole-
pig.
the whole
That is
deal.
just like
Oh,
my
it's
goal.
so
Whole
fun.
house.
It was so fun, and they were and like the 4-wheelers and stuff. So I think those are like some of my favorite memories. Just like she has like 5 siblings, so it's like a million cousins, and yeah, that's some of my
Right.
favorite memories. I'm trying to think. I cannot think of a least favorite
Least
memory.
favorite memory.
That's a hard one.
I don't know.
Oh, is it hard being a middle sister of 2?
As everyone says, I don't think so. I love it because I feel like it's fun to have like a little sister and like she's like the wild one and fun. And then my older sister's
We're
super
looking at you
out
over
there.
there. No kidding.
And then-
Your sister's like behind there, like, don't
She's
say
trying to-
anything
trying
about
to
me.
sit
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then my older sister's like super wise and she's just like the nicest person ever. So I've kind of liked it, but
It's a good balance.
yeah, it's good balance.
You know?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can come back to least favorite.
Okay,
Let you
yeah,
think
we'll come
about
back.
it. How
I'll
about
think
you,
about it.
David?
I've been trying to think about it. I mean, man, least favorite childhood memory. Gosh, I don't know.
You get stitches, break an arm, you know?
I mean, I got hit. So I was a baseball pitcher, and when I was younger, a kid hit a comebacker at me, and it broke my foot. I mean, that sucked.
What's
but
a
I mean,
comebacker?
a comebacker is when you pitch it and then they hit it just straight back at you.
Oh, it
Yeah.
comes back at you.
Yep. I mean, that sucked. I can't really think of too many bad things that happened when I was a kid. I mean,
comebacker
I
sounds
was really
pretty bad.
blessed. I mean, things kind of started going sideways when I was about 15, 16. No, actually, yeah, when I was 11 years old, I had a buddy of mine pass away, actually.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's fine.
we never really got the details too much about that. I was in 5th grade. He was a year older. They didn't know if it was like he took his own life.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow, at 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Dang.
hard thing to
Yeah.
have to understand at that age.
For sure.
That someone would
Yeah.
take their own life.
Yeah, when I was from the age of about 15 to 20, which is about 2 years ago. I mean, honestly, like one of my exes is she passed away a couple years ago, actually,
Oh my
Gosh.
goodness.
which is honestly kind of
Wow.
why dating I guess hasn't gone too well in the past couple of years.
Dang.
But yeah, kind of more so from like 15 to 20, things were really hard, like a lot of family stuff that happened. But yeah, sorry not to bring it to
No.
too much of a.
Well, now
No,
you have to
yeah.
tell us a good one because
level.
you have to tell us a happy memory because I refuse to end it on a
Oh,
sad
I'm,
memory.
I'm sorry. A good memory. I mean, just playing baseball growing up and practicing with my dad. I mean, he was never super into sports. He was more into studying and stuff like that. But to see him kind of like try to understand baseball or like come
For
to the
you.
games. Yeah, exactly.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really sweet. But yeah, I
I
guess
love
that was probably my favorite memory, just playing baseball with my dad.
Oh, I always picture that, like throwing the ball with your dad. Like,
I
those
know.
are my
Father-son
favorite memories.
Literally,
right?
exactly
Yeah.
how it was in the front yard with everything.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what my
So
dad
true.
taught me how to throw a football. And like,
Oh,
that was always one of my
yes,
favorite
yes.
memories.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
I love
sweet.
that. At least I feel like mine are so trivial now after his least
I'm so
favorite
sorry. I didn't mean.
It could be, honestly,
I'm trying to think of
bad
something-
memory could be
I
anything.
broke my arm when I jumped off this little like electrical box, and I was probably 6. And my mom was like, "Don't jump off! Don't jump off!" She looks away, jump off. So
Well
yeah,
done.
it was fun.
Wait till they
See,
look
that's
at
what
you.
That was an ideal,
traumatizing.
yeah.
I've never broken a bone.
Really?
But I feel like it'd be extremely traumatizing because it's like your body is just.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just feels so. I could imagine it would feel so odd.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And my mom thought I was like, I wasn't serious. So she like, my mom's like a farm girl. So she's like, you're fine. Like you're totally
Shake it off.
Yeah.
She's
And
Rub
she
some
did
dirt
not
on
take
it.
me to the doctor for like
Exactly.
a few days. And then they're like, oh my gosh. She was like, when she took me in eventually, because I was still complaining out, they're like, this woman, like something.
She has broken her arm.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Well, on that note, we are going to take a quick break. Stay with us. When we come back, we are going to be going into game time. I don't know about you, but when your friend goes to the bathroom when you're going to lunch and you're just sitting there, the best thing to use is a game to pass the time. And that's where you use Best Fiends. If you're looking for a fun way to pass the time while engaging your brain and enjoying breathtaking visuals and a gripping story, your answer is Best Fiends. I'm completely obsessed with it. In the beginning, you can make your own little avatar, which is really fun. And then there's like this whole map that goes in front of you. And as you're going along this path of this 3D map world, you do all these games. There's a storyline with it. It's just a really epic game to pass the time. I use it when I'm in the Uber. I use it when I'm waiting for my flights. I use it even when I wake up in the morning. I am a little bit competitive and I have some friends that are on it and I try to beat them in the path. Right now I'm on level 5. The best thing about Best Fiends is that they update the games monthly. So it's never the same thing. It's always refreshing itself. And that's something that I love about this app. It is always changing it up, always something new. It also does not require internet to play. So you can play it literally everywhere. It's great for traveling. You can bring it on the plane, which is something that whenever I'm on the plane and I want to play a game, I don't know what to do. You need the internet, but with this game, you don't need the internet. So you can definitely pass your time on the plane with it. Engage your brain with fun puzzles and collect tons of cute characters. Trust me, with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. All right, Heather, I'm going to have you spin the wheel of games.
Alrighty. Oh gosh.
Give it a strong spin,
Debate.
too.
I don't want that one. All right, let's see.
Oh gosh.
Categories.
Categories.
It was almost on rap battle.
Ooh.
That's
okay.
so. That's
Yeah,
so
rap
vague.
battle. I was like,
I'll do my best to avoid that. I don't want to do that either.
All right, so for categories, I'm going to choose a subject, and each of you guys are going to be going back and forth naming something in that category until one person doesn't
Can't do
have
it.
one in 3 seconds or repeats one that's already happened.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to choose mammals. David, you're going to go first.
Cow.
Horse.
Octopus.
Pit.
Is that wrong? Is that wrong?
That's so wrong.
Wow.
Is that a mammal?
Is it like a,
It's a cephalopod.
Wait, is it a mammal?
A cephalopod. Is that in the mammal group? No, because mammals don't give birth. They give live birth, and an octopus give birth to eggs.
wow, you win. You're
There
really,
you go.
you're
Wow.
real smart.
Wow.
You win.
I feel like that is too quick. Okay, let's think of another category.
Okay.
Man, mammals. I was like really
I'll do
excited
better this
about
time.
mammals.
I'm sorry. I promise.
No, that,
I was
like
really
it.
excited about mammals, but
Perfect.
now I'm going to go with, in honor of the cephalopod, the octopus, I'm going to go with
Oh, no.
sea creatures.
Oh, sea creatures. Okay.
All right. Heather, go.
Sea turtle.
Sea urchin.
No, fish. I don't know why it's so
I was
hard.
gonna say fish.
Why is it so hard? I knew I was.
Shark.
Dolphin.
Manatee. That's
Yeah, that was
I don't know why this.
one Mississippi.
it's nervous when the lights are on. It's tough.
Why can't I think of anything to see? This is embarrassing.
All
If
right,
we're
I
ever
am-
at SeaWorld, I mean,
severely-
you and I are never going to SeaWorld
I'm
then.
severely disappointed in the
That's so
animal
embarrassing.
category.
Oh my
I was like really
My
wishing someone
brain
said
blanks.
mermaid.
I can't think. Mermaid.
I was like really wishing soone said mermaid, and
It's
like
okay.
that's
We're both
debatable.
pretty.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
okay.
It's good.
think of
I can
animals.
forgive it. I can forgive it.
That was
All right.
bad.
Well, I almost want to do one more category with animals. I'm gonna keep with animals because
Oh,
I
gosh.
want to
We're
like
bad at animals.
animals
clearly.
that fly.
like different kinds of bird species.
Yeah. Or
Sure.
bugs
Or-
are also animals.
Oh.
Or no one knows that bugs are actually in the animal group.
You just don't think about it.
Yeah, right? Like
Yeah.
I always think of like furry, bigger animals. Well, anyway, David, you go first. Flying animals.
Owl.
Ladybug.
Eagle.
Bat.
Canary.
Dove.
Parrot.
I'll say ostrich. I don't think
I
they
don't want to
fly.
jinx it. This is going really well. David, go.
Flamingo. Right? They kind of hover. Does that count?
I
They
feel
fly?
like yeah, I'll count that.
Beetle.
Ladybug. Did you say?
Oh, she said ladybug. All right. Well, that was a good run.
You win. 2 out of 3.
It was a good run.
Man.
Okay, so for our next section, we're going to be having more questions, but I'm not going to be asking you guys these questions. You're going to be asking them to each other. So in front of you, you have flashcards with a couple questions on them. You're going to be interviewing each other. Both of you guys have to answer each question, and I'm not going to be here.
All right.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
This says, how do you feel about me? Strange question.
Wow, we're going straight to the point. That's totally fine. I mean, yeah, like when I walked in, I said you seem really familiar. Were you on Peter's season
No.
recently? Oh.
I was on Colton season.
Oh, honestly, haven't really watched The Bachelor too much.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't live too far away. I mean, you seem really intelligent, and it seems like faith is really important to you as it is to me. I mean, I've honestly struggled with mine since baseball's been done and kind of figuring myself out outside of living for my family. But you just seem really sweet and really easygoing and
Thank
like,
you.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, so far, like the 15 minutes,
10 minutes
20
we've been
minutes
talking,
that
yeah.
we've been speaking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, for you, same as you. I think you seem super outgoing, super kind. Yeah, you seem really smart, and yeah, I like that faith is important to you because that's a huge part of my life. And yeah,
Really smart, even after
we can't name animals, let's just cut that out.
Yeah, we're gonna move
something
past
that flies,
that.
so we're good.
That's okay. All right, your turn. You ready?
Yes.
We're interviewing here. Let's see if you can get that. What could you not live without?
Ooh. I think I couldn't live without, it sounds really cliche, but like my family, my sisters and my parents, and then like really solid friendships. I think
sweet.
that's like something that I value so much. And like those core people in your life that like are there to just support you through everything. I think that's something that I couldn't live without.
Sweet.
What about you?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, for me, I'd say I feel like in my family, I'm closest to my mom. My sister and I have an older sister she's 25. Her and I have never really been too close. I mean, we're just absolutely nothing alike.
Opposites?
We never have been. I mean, I'm 6'5", she's 5'3".
Oh, whoa. That's interesting. How tall are your parents?
5'6", 5'7".
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, everyone's like,
Where
you
did
have
you
great
get your
genes.
height?
Special
weird.
gift from God. Honestly, like I look nothing like him. I'm not adopted. We have
Are you sure about
we
that?
have pictures. We have proof. They showed me.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I love my mom to death. As much as sometimes we kind of argue a little bit. She's from the Italian side of the family, so I'm Italian, Spanish.
Okay.
So my mom and her side of the family are very opinionated, and they'll kind of let you know about it. But I love my mom to death. I feel like I can live without her. She definitely made me a mama's boy, but I'm not dependent on her. I'm a grown-ass man, all on my own at 22.
There you go. It's nothing wrong with loving your mom. It's the best.
Thank you.
All right. What do you not regret that you probably should? That's a hard question.
Wow. What do I not regret that I probably should? As much as I keep mentioning it, like I don't really regret, I guess, the last injury that took me out of baseball. I mean, as much as it sucked and as much as I had such a hard time finding my identity outside of a team environment, outside of what I felt in my life was like the thing that I want to do and what I loved. But I honestly don't regret it because I thought that was the only thing I was going to do. But now I've realized, I can do a lot of different things, whether that's like acting or like personal training or kind of commercials and stuff like that. I've realized like, I can do a lot more than just that. So I guess that's one thing.
That's good.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm trying to think something that I probably should regret, but I don't. I think maybe like my job right out of college, it was something that, I mean, it's not like a regret, but it's something like I just wasn't interested in. I wasn't like, there's just nothing about it that I really wanted to do, but I was just like, it was just an opportunity presented itself. And so I was like, okay. It was like for an engineering company, and I was just like, not my industry, not at all interested in that. I studied business marketing. And so I was like, but then I think through that experience, I worked there for like a year and a half, and I just was so stretched, and I grew a lot. I didn't love it, but I just grew a lot through it. Right. So yeah, that's probably it. Cool.
All right. Next one is, what was your favorite toy as a kid?
Oh, I was just talking about this.
Oh, really? I was going to say, this is going to be a hard one. I was like, wait, what?
We were just talking about this. We loved, had you ever played the game Bop It?
Yeah.
Like, Bop It. Yeah.
Oh, I suck at that.
I want that back.
What?
I was like, where can I find one of those? Yeah, I love that.
I'm pretty sure they still have it.
I'm sure they do online. But yeah, that was probably it.
I sucked at that. So if you ever bring it out, expect like a how I was in categories. Not doing too well. For me, I mean, when I was real little, I really loved Toy Story. So I had my Woody and Buzz.
Okay.
They're not dolls or action figures.
Oh, there you go. Of course,
I don't have them
course.
anymore. I don't.
You didn't keep them?
I
Dang
mean,
it.
I don't know.
Come
Maybe mom
on.
has them
On the
somewhere.
shelf? There
She's
you go.
sentimental. She likes to hide things.
There you go.
Maybe a hoarder, but we don't know. Yeah, I guess those are probably my 2 favorite toys.
Cool. I like it. All right. Where do you believe your consciousness was before you were born and after death?
I mean, based on my faith, I mean, I know that we're all created in the image of God.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, God's always had a plan for us before we're born, and you know, wherever we're gonna end up, whether that be one place or another, has already been predestined, predetermined by God the Father, and that's absolutely what I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I think the same as you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
You guys did pretty well on your own.
I think so.
Yeah, we can talk.
You don't need me. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So next we're going to be going into honesty time. It's
Okay.
me getting real. So can I have Heather? Can you stay here, and David? I'll talk to you in a little bit.
I'll leave.
Honesty time. What was your first impression of David?
I thought he seemed very confident. Seemed like a really sweet guy. He has a really good smile, like just very smiley. So yeah, he seemed like a really cool guy.
Okay. I'm curious what your normal type is.
Physically or like
All the
personality
things.
wise?
Yeah, everything. Like, what is your perfect man?
I really honestly physically I don't really have a type. Like I've kind of all over the board. But for personality, I like someone who's kind of like who's confident, who's like very outgoing and very sure of themselves. And someone who really just like is kind of like a servant-hearted, like they just really like look out for other people. And I feel like you can kind of tell that pretty
I love
soon.
that.
Yeah.
Servant-hearted. I've never heard someone say that before.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things in someone.
Okay. And honestly, I do feel like he had those qualities with taking care of his family and making sure
Yeah,
everything was
super
safe
sweet.
there. So you never know. You never know.
You never know.
How has your dating history been? Like how has it been like dating in California?
Honestly, I always say it, like I don't like dating. Dating is like, I just like,
I have a couple friends like that.
yeah.
And I hear it's just because it's so difficult here.
It is. It's just like, and I just don't want to date just to date for fun. Like people are always like, all my friends like, just, date. I'm like, I just don't see any purpose in that unless I like see something with that person. Like I probably should be a little more open to like just going because they probably can't tell fully. But I feel like I'm the type of person who kind of just knows soon
Really?
after. Like I'm like,
Okay.
oh, that's not going to work. So I'm like, I just don't want to waste my time. So
You're just honest with yourself in terms of
Yeah,
if you
I
can see something
try.
happen or not.
yeah. So I haven't really dated a ton. I've obviously dated a little bit, but just not a ton. And I haven't met the person yet. So
Okay. Have you ever had your heart broken? I'm curious.
I haven't. Mm-mm.
No.
Nope, I haven't.
Ooh, the first one hurts so good.
I know. That's what they say. But yeah, no, I haven't. So.
Yeah. Okay. When was your last relationship? I'm curious.
So I haven't dated since the show.
Mhm.
And I dated a guy probably 6 months after college and then we dated for a little under a year. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So when going through the date with David, were there any red flags or anything that made you think, oh, maybe this isn't the kind of person that I'd want to date?
I don't think there's any red flags. I think like obviously I would need to get to know him more just to know who he is. But I didn't see any like serious like, oh no.
Okay.
That's a
we like
no.
to hear that. We
Yeah.
like to hear that there's no red flags.
Yeah, definitely no red flags.
Yeah, your sister is behind the glass watching this date go down.
She is.
And I was asking her, I was like, do you think that there's a little thing going on here? But she didn't know.
She didn't know?
It's so hard to read.
I know.
So at the end of this, we do see if you're down to date or not. What do you think David's going to say?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I mean, I think we like for the time we had, I think, we had good conversation, but I honestly have no idea.
You're so hard to read. Oh my gosh. I'm like trying to like look for any crack in you to see if I can tell what you're going to say. Okay, we're going to bring David in here and
All
see if
right.
I can get to him. Honesty time.
Why did you bring a perfect girl in front of me, Kendall?
Really? Oh, perfect. I like the word perfect.
Wait,
I
are
want to know
we
what your
filming right now?
Yeah, I'm going to say
Oh,
No, okay.
man.
All right, so I want to know what your first thoughts were when you met Heather.
I mean, she's stunning. She's beautiful. That's absolutely the first thing I noticed. Honestly, a lot of guys kind of talk about like, oh, like what do you like in a girl? And guys are like, oh, this and that. Honestly, like just the girl's like essence, like her smile and like how she
Essence.
can like smile with her eyes.
Mhm.
Like that's really what I notice and what I'm attracted to about someone. I really honestly don't have a physical type. I've honestly personally never dated like a like white girl. I've always kind of dated more ethnic girls.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I just she just seems like such a sweetheart and such. She's the type of girl like absolutely want to take
Take her
Sorry.
home to the family. I know you're going
I
to
was gonna say take her to church.
to church. Okay.
Honestly,
okay. I thought you were going to say family, but church. Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
one thing that she had said is that faith is important to her. So I feel like that's
Absolutely.
something you guys definitely have in common.
Right.
And I think it's surprisingly difficult to find people with a commonality like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got away from my faith for about 2 years after baseball was done and after kind of more serious stuff that I was talking about earlier. I couldn't comprehend what that happened and then be okay with the answer of people saying like, oh, it's all part of God's plan. So I kind of stepped away for a while. Honestly, about 2 months ago, I started going back to church over at Mosaic in Hollywood. And I mean, it's been great.
I'm familiar with Mosaic.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Lord's really been speaking to me and kind of, I don't know where he's guiding me, but I'm just interested in the mystery that 2020 holds for me, honestly.
Yeah. 2020. I mean, it is the new year. There are many
Absolutely.
new things happening.
Absolutely.
So where are you right now in terms of dating wise, like relationship wise?
Honestly, I've gone on a couple first dates recently, but they haven't led to second dates. So, I mean, I'm out there. I feel like I'm available. I feel like I'm in a really good spot. I'm in a really good headspace. I'm done with school now, so I have a lot more kind of time to relax, also time to kind of breathe and kind of have that open headspace. I mean, sometimes I have a hard time like buttoning up my own shirt. I feel like I say the phrase so many times within a day, like, this is why I need a female in my life.
I feel like that whenever I have like jars that I can't open. I'm not afraid to admit my arms are not as strong as I'd like them to be.
That's okay.
So, males and females, we benefit each other in some ways.
They're meant
jars
to,
and buttoning up shirts.
Exactly. That's what we're here for.
All right. So at the end of this, we do ask if you guys are down to date or not.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think Heather's going to say?
Oh man, I was sitting out there thinking. Honestly, if she says, what is it, date or what
Down or not?
Down or not? Oh, I don't know. She just seems like I don't know.
I will say she's hard to read. And I don't even know.
She kind of is like, and she asked me the question. She's like, "What do you like about me?" I was like, "We've been sitting here for like 10 minutes. I don't really know." Honestly, it could really go either way. I'd be super excited if she said down. I mean, I live in Playa del Rey, which is not that far from Carlsbad, so it's like we could meet up on the weekend or like.
Don't give it away. Don't tell me if you're gonna say
I'm not
down or
trying to like.
I'm not there yet.
I'm trying to romanticize and plan out like.
Okay.
This is what we're gonna
You're
do
a
on the
forward
weekends.
thinker. You're a planner.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not really one to just kind of date to date. I kind of date. I'm not saying like I want to get married right now, but like I always date with an intention of moving towards something that's
It's so
more
interesting
serious.
because Heather said the same exact thing. I feel like you guys are kind of on the same path in terms of you don't want to date just for fun, but you're really looking like if you're going to go on a second date, you kind of want it to be someone that you really see something going on with. So
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I can appreciate that.
I really hope she says down, and I hope she means it.
Right?
Honestly, and I love meeting families. I love honestly whenever I take out a girl, whether it's like they live by themselves or they live with their parents, I'm walking them up to the door every single time.
You're a gentleman, which is amazing.
My mother raised me right.
Yeah,
That's who I
hell
have to
I'm gonna
credit that
snap
to.
to that. I love that.
I love
Okay,
that
good.
woman.
Yeah. Oh, well, I love that. Okay, well, we're going to bring Heather in and we're going to take away the anticipation and see if you guys are down to date. You ready?
Oh boy, I don't know. It's gonna happen.
You're going to have to be
It's gonna
ready. We're
happen
going to force
me,
you
and
to
I'm
be
not
ready.
ready.
All right, bring her in.
All right.
All right, so we have Heather and David back in the studio. This is the moment of truth, guys.
Oh God.
Boy.
This is where it all
You ready?
goes down.
I don't know.
So you have in front of you a card. One side says not, one side says down. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to expose it and then also say what you choose.
okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Got it.
Do we like hold it on the table and then bring it up, or like do we just?
However you like. However you like. And make sure you show it to your respective cameras.
Okay.
So we can see.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3.
Down.
Oh my goodness! I'm so happy.
I was nervous.
He was nervous before this. He's like, I have butterflies. I'm nervous.
I was like, honestly, I never get nervous for first dates. And before I saw you, I was like, this must be a good sign.
Well, I'm so excited to hear. If you guys go on a second date, please let me know. I want to hear all the details. But thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Heather, for coming into the podcast studio today. Make sure you guys rate, review, subscribe, comment. I love listening to all your comments. And I will see you guys next time.